Hey everyone, huge episode. I didn't even start as normal. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm Joshua Hadley, joined by the man of the hour, the man of power, the sweet sour, the one spent the men's regret island, and he still knows coming yet.
Hello, hi. I'm that guy. I'm Justin, and I'm here with Josh, and we're doing the thing.
Yeah, whole bunch of news today. Gonna be a different type of program. We're finally just by ourselves without we don't have a guest.
Yeah, we had guests 2 weeks in a row there.
And I had someone wanting to be on the show this week, but with everything going on, no way. I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Um. All right, so I guess we'll start off with this. Tomorrow's September 11th.
Yes.
You know,
TJ's birthday.
yeah, hell yeah, it's TJ's
Happy
birthday.
birthday tomorrow, TJ.
Yeah, happy birthday, and we're gonna celebrate by talking about what we were doing 20 years ago on 9/11. When
Which I've never remembered what I was doing that day.
you never remembered.
No, everybody's like fucking. You had to know what you were doing. I don't. No, I don't. I don't remember shit about that.
I don't remember where I was at, but I remember all I remember was I was in fifth grade. I heard about it when we were lined up outside class waiting to go in.
Mm.
Yeah, that's when I heard about it.
I
And
was
I
9 at the time. I would have been in fourth grade, I believe. But that's all. Like, I don't remember anything about it other than that. Like, that's just me doing basic math of the year that it was.
and I was a kid, so I was really stupid. I do remember asking, "Are they gonna take out the Statue of Liberty next?" All the things I'm worried about.
Mm. They're gonna go full
Um,
fucking Planet of the Apes.
Well, I'm just thinking like, man, they said never forgetting. Gopher's forgetting. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's been a lot worse stuff that happened in history.
Well, I'll talk about a lot of stuff worse happened in history. So 9/11 happens. They passed the Patriot Act, and now they're using the Patriot Act to make sure they're looking to insurrectionists.
Hmm.
At least we have that of all
Yeah,
the horrible things that came out of it.
yeah, yeah.
Like, so with the Patriot Act, are they taking all of our episodes and putting them in the archive or whatever so that they could find evidence later on?
Yes, they're doing exactly that. Speaking of 9/11, I saw something recently. Somebody fucking like trying to make an argument that the post 9/11 world is what caused like um representation in TV shows and movies. Like he was saying that as a bad
Uh,
in like a negative way. Like, oh, 9/11 happened and now we have more women and fucking people of color and like what?
There's two things here. There's two things. So first off, yeah. Here's the reason 9/11 was good, and all the good. Well, actually, I say, oh, representation is great, and they're like, oh, no, 9/11 happened, and now we get more representation in media.
Yeah.
What's the argument there?
Uh,
Like, why is
I
that
don't
bad?
know. I have no clue what the argument is. I saw it on Facebook the other day. Uh, I don't get people.
I don't either. So we didn't talk about this. I don't believe. The news is when the FBI combed through the documents after they searched Mar-a-Lago, there's some documents missing.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that.
We we
That
don't know.
action.
We don't know what happened. Did Trump lose them? Did he
Mm.
sell them? Did anyone steal them? Because
This Kid
we
Rock stole
know
them.
that's actually possible. They don't
It
know.
is. Yeah,
There's a list of people that they're getting lists of people that partied at Mar-a-Lago, that
yeah,
been in Trump's office. Like, we could go there if we were rich enough. I mean, it's a
yeah,
country club,
yeah.
and there's been people all over the world there.
Mm.
So
Hopefully, this leads to what really needs to happen, which is Kid Rock's house being raided.
well, I thought you were gonna say, hopefully this leads to like maybe is. I'm trying not to be terrible here. Maybe it leads to Uganda finally having nuclear weapons. Imagine if that's the outcome or something. Oh, Donald Trump's always like. There's someone that needs to go away. Like he needs to not be able to run for office again.
He needs to not be able to run. Period. Someone kneecap him.
Well, he can't. Like, have you seen the state of him? He can't run.
Well, you ain't wrong. I'm still upset that I saw Donald Trump's penis a few years ago.
Damn it, Janet! Why would you do that? Did you get like rickrolled, or did someone say, "Oh, here's a picture"? You guys,
I think it was just on Twitter. Like I think someone just shared it on Twitter.
Oh, you saw it on the timeline.
Yeah, I'm scrolling Twitter and I just see this big fucking red puff. The big red puff being his body as a whole, not the penis. The penis was not big and well, it was red, not big though.
I don't know if we said this, but True Soul's losing money, and Trump's not. Yeah, I think we did talk about this, but we might as well say it again just to remind people this guy's. I've heard rich people do this a lot, where they try to not pay people even though they have the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trump, he takes it to a whole nother level. Like imagine not paying a whole ass company to host your website.
Yeah. Like if you're rich as fuck and you want to flaunt it, go ahead. You can fucking have people pay people a shit ton of money to do whatever horrible shit you want them to do. Just pay them. You have the money.
I mean, I know Trump is a fake billionaire, but he has to have money because he's got a golden toilet or whatever. I mean, you wanted to start a whole new social media website, sell the golden toilet, pay the people that work to make your shitty website continue. Yeah. And it is a shitty website. It's just I use it. It's like lame Twitter. And it doesn't even need to be, but everyone on that site's political.
Yeah.
So there's if you like someone, there's no escape from seeing what their politics are.
Yeah.
See. Oh, and I guess the biggest news is the Queen finally died.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Man, there were some fucking Irish people celebrating hard.
So we joke about the Triple H reign of terror, Jeff Jarrett's reign of terror. Like this thing went on 70 years. Like holy shit.
Like it was fucking. I saw a meme the other day, well, yesterday, because death. Being like, let me see if I can find the specific thing here so I can quote it correctly. Over here.
Yeah. Oh man.
Dark
I'm
gonna. That's the name of that thing.
So it's what I'm gonna check. I think it's been 70 years she's been queen.
Here it is. It said, reports indicate that Her Majesty has bestowed a great honor upon Meghan Markle by requesting her to be the recipient of the final slur, a traditional rite whereby the British monarch utters their final racist remark before death. Markle will be the first non-Irish beneficiary.
It's about time. Like, can you imagine? Like, I mean, here they do have like a real democracy there, but there's still power the Queen has. Like, she was able to shut down the Canadian government for a while. Like, just imagine. I've seen some people say have dumb takes on this, but the monarchy is something that ought to go away.
I agree.
Unless they're gonna like take out a guitar and hit someone over the head. Then I'll go another 70 years. Yeah, I wanted to take a look at this. So it's her reign, and that's what it's called, a reign. Began in 1952, so it did go 70 years.
70 fucking years. Jesus Christ. And now it's over, and the Irish can rejoice.
So is Prince Charles gonna finally be, like, he's 70 years old, and I would think he's on the top of the list of being the, I don't know, heir apparent, but he's known to sleep around, so they might not pick him. I know there's like other controversies, like him accepting money from the Hussein family. Of course, we just talked about 9/11. Where Saddam Hussein comes from.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I thought he was already dead.
Fuck, he's like 70 years old too.
Yeah. Fucking give it to Meghan Markle.
Give it to Meghan Markle. It's about time. Let's see. Man. The only memory I have, like, it's not that I pay attention much to England over there. The only memory I have of the Queen Elizabeth II, is that James Bond commercials he did, where him and her, Daniel Craig, some actor playing there skydives into the football arena to the James Bond music. That's all I remember.
I know she was in one of the Paddington movies. I never saw them, but I saw a scene because they were shared yesterday. With her and Paddington sitting down and having lunch together or something for some fucking reason. I don't know why. I don't know what the context was in the overall thing. I know she had a sandwich in her purse that she was a marmalade sandwich.
Could just been a cameo, like jumping in Home Alone.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it was, but I still don't know. Like, I don't know what the context was of Paddington going to the fucking whatever that place is called, the British version of the White House or whatever.
Well, they what's that?
Buckingham Palace? Is that what that is? Or is that a different place?
That might be it. I could be wrong though.
Yeah.
I have no. We could be wrong. We have no idea.
Yeah, true. We're not British.
Yeah.
Or
Canadian.
My main British connection apparently fucking died last year.
Damn. Sam.
R.I.P. possibly Minkaro.
Well, not. Yeah, he's got a new identity, so he's got.
Yeah.
What was his character put a mask on and he was Minkaro spelled backwards or something
with a couple extra letters? Yeah, it was Arachne Man.
You get like see on social media Arachne Man posting tweets and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's official now. November the 4th, Russia's their version of Congress. I don't know if it's a parliament or not. They're gonna vote on whether they're gonna annex what they've taken from Ukraine so far.
Oh, look at
that. We had William on last week, yes. William Pounds, and so I said we disagree, and we don't want to start a fight on this show. It's not the vibe of this channel, but he says, that's happened over NATO. Clearly, if we look into the reason, like beyond that, because there's no way Ukraine could join NATO. It's happened because Ukraine has all this oil, and now they're annexing the country. Now that they got what they want, because like a large portion of it is in the. Was it the Donbass region or the region where they said, oh, there's two new countries here. Like, that's where one of the, was it an oil reserve or, no, I don't think that's right. But anyway, that's where a lot of the oil is. And it's also on the opposite end of Ukraine. They wanted that, it had nothing to do with them wanting to join NATO because there's zero possibility of that happening as long as they controlled Crimea. So Putin's a criminal fuck. I think this could be kind of seen as when, like, not even like when Hitler annexed Australia and Hungary, or maybe it was just Australia, I think. When he did that, he was sort of welcomed with open arms. Putin, he's gotta like kill all these people. And I've also heard, I've seen, this is kind of funny that Russia's now buying munitions from North Korea.
Hmm. That's not even the good Korea.
Yeah, what the hell?
All the good cinema comes from South Korea.
Absolutely. I mean, North Korea, to make good movies, they gotta kidnap actors.
True.
It's just the fact that's the thing that happened. um, I think we're good. We discussed this. We're gonna go into our plugs early. Is there any other big world events that we wanna
Not
talk?
that
Oh,
I.
there's one thing I want to talk about. I almost forgot. And I think this will be the last thing. And we're going to our plugs early, and we're talking a lot of wrestling this week.
Yep.
Big news. It happened before the women's pounds thing, but the episode we did.
Mm-hmm.
But on the episode we talked about ranked choice voting, how it would help candidates who might not normally win, and the news is out. Well, it came out, unfortunately, not when we recorded, but really late. Mary Peltola is the new representative of Alaska's at-large district. Don Young died, and we just voted in a new voting system last year, or 2 years ago, 2020, and
Everyone's favorite year.
yeah, and 50 people ran for this seat. There was so many, and 4 people got on top, so they went into the election. That was the primary. I voted for Andrew Harklow, but obviously it came down to Al Gross, Nick Begich III, your favorite Sarah Palin, and Mary Peltola from Bethel. And Al Gross dropped out, so there was just the 3 left. I voted Mary Peltola as my first choice. Nick Begich as my second choice. I mean, I don't like him, but I think he's far better than my third pick, Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
I mean, she quit in the middle of her middle of her term when she was governor first time to go and become a TV star. Do you have any comments on Palin and this happening? I got a couple, but I wanted to see what you think.
I don't really know any of them other than Sarah Palin, and Sarah Palin sucks. So that's my contribution.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of bad blood, and there's still another campaign. There's another election this November. This was just a special election. I watched a forum with the candidates, and the only candidates not to shake hands after the forum was Palin and Begich. I'll talk about a lot about this because there's so much hoopla. Mary Peltola, probably the best candidate to go to Washington anyway. She's been legislator in Juneau. Palin, even if you like her, she's more of a person who's done executive type roles like being mayor and governor. I think it's being in Congress is a little bit different. Nick Begich has never done anything like this in his life. I think he ran for mayor but didn't win. And he seems to be just running off his family name. I wasn't a huge fan of his. And Palin Palin probably should have won, but as I said, there's bad blood between the Begich campaign and her campaign to where each other's family members are from what I heard, none of Nick's family supported him, and then Palin's ex's family was at his campaign event. So yeah, bunch of bad blood. Palin should have won because you would figure because they went for Palin, the Republicans, on the first round. Well, they went for both candidates, and Nick see, in the second round, Nick was taken out, and Palin could have won if they voted Nick first, and then the second choice is Palin, but they went Nick and then Mary Peltola. So Mary Peltola. I mean, as much as there's controversy, like, you know, conservatives are crying, ranked choice voting, it's making everything so undemocratic. Here's the thing: like, Palin should have won, but she couldn't get along with Nick. Even if it's the other way around, it was your guys' race to win. You couldn't do it because there's this drama involved. Um, this isn't a thing where it was made to make Democrats win because Mike Dunleavy, he got the most votes in his primary. Maybe you'll go ahead and start crying if like some tiny dude loses, but so far it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with party. It's the people involved, which I think that's the way elections ought to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike Dunleavy is moving on with. He's gonna be running against Bill Walker, Lescara, some other person I can't remember, and we know the Republicans, the Trumpists have been hated. Lisa Murkowski. I think the normal Republicans are just fine with her. She's going to the November election along with the Kelly. I can't remember her last name. The Trump endorsed candidate, Pat something. She's the Democrat, and there's like I think one more Republican in that race. Um, yeah, and we'll get more into that. We're gonna have a guest to talk about the election in October. That's a while away, though. Um, I think we might as well get into plugs right now, don't you think?
Yeah. Yes. All right. Do you have anything to plug? Let's start with you this time.
I finally got that video uploaded where I play Chess Challenger. It's my longest video yet. It takes an hour. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to make the video with using the video editor on my computer, which is a version of Microsoft Movie Maker. So I got Clipchamp on the Microsoft Store. It actually works, so I'm going with it for now. I might get Vegas Edit or Vegas Pro sometime, but to actually just buy these things, it's a couple $100, and I'm not too into subscribing to have a program. Could be a lot cheaper if I just decide I don't want it anymore. But I'm gonna go Clipchamp for now. So yeah, I got a new video uploaded on my channel. My Twitter's at Josh J Hadley. You won't find it though, but if you want to find it, the way to do it is my website and you'll find this podcast on here. There's a tab just for the shows, www.joshuajhadley.com. And see, what about you? What's going on with Gopher Talk?
Alright, so we finished recording Kingdom Hearts 2. That is done. It's still being uploaded. Obviously, it's going to continue being uploaded until the end of September. And we have begun recording Kingdom this one I just fucking Resident Evil 2, the other two that we're doing here, for October, for Halloween. And something I was misunderstood about something regarding this game. I thought there's a Leon story and a Claire story, and I thought that it was basically they were opposite versions of each other, like the same story but told from each one's perspective. That's what I thought was the case.
Same story.
But from what I am now learning, they both have their own story, like they both have their own main story, and then if you beat Leon's main story, you unlock Claire's B story, and if you beat Claire's B story, you unlock Leon's B story, and those are the ones where it's the same thing but from a different perspective. So there's actually 4 stories in total instead of just 2.
That sounds like something where you gotta be really enjoying the story to play the game again.
So I will be doing the 2 main stories for Leon and Claire on YouTube, and I'm thinking, since I want to do some spoopy streams this year, I might stream the B stories, B
That's a good
versions of the
idea.
stories. So I might stream them on Twitch and then upload the VODs onto YouTube. So that's probably what's going to be happening there. And of course, we're going to be playing Little Hope, the Dark Pictures anthology game that our friend Mark Story worked on. Brandon and I will be co-op playing that for Halloween for October. But we're starting off with Resident Evil 2. That'll be going all month because it's probably going to be like 12 to 14 hours worth of stuff for that. And we have a one-off going up today as of recording this, so yesterday for those listening. A little one-off of a game called Kerbal Space Program that was requested by TJ, and that it was a video. That sure was a video that was recorded, so that went up, and yeah. So from now until the end of November, until the end of September, it's just gonna be Kingdom Hearts 2 on the YouTube. Just that both time slots every day until that is finished being uploaded. Then we got, of course, Resident Evil 2 and all the spoopy stuff happening next month. The fucking a Tucker Variety Hour Halloween special, all of that action, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 will be happening in November. And that's basically it for the YouTube side of things. For Twitch, it's a bit too late to plug this now, considering it'll be happening tonight as of this recording.
Tonight.
Yeah, but there's a today's Friday. A Friday night Fall Guys stream happening. In
You can watch the VOD if you really want.
Yeah, you can watch the VOD if you wanted. I will not be drinking, only because I don't have any alcohol anymore. I finished up the stuff a while ago. But Ian will presumably be drinking.
Yeah, really quick, I had someone come when I was working at the fish plant doing security. Someone came up here at the thing 2 a.m. Must have been, and of course I didn't have any alcohol. He's like, "All right, you got some hand sanitizers?" I'm like, well, and I'm thinking, "Wow, really?"
Yeah, so that stream will have already.
I don't know. You know what? Why don't you go hard like this guy? Why don't you just do some shots of hand sanitizer in your eye every time you fall?
I'm gonna go ahead and not do that. But yeah, so that'll have happened yesterday as of this going up. So if you want to watch that, the VOD's up there. It should be me, Ian, maybe Jeff will be there, possibly Brandon, and whoever else. Maybe Razor, I don't know.
Maybe I'll be there. Shoot.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's gonna be
probably not. I'm a bit busy.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty. Well, for you, I think it'll be 7:00.
Yeah, I'll probably be busy.
Nah. But it could be going for a while. I don't know how long it's gonna go for. But we're probably starting about 7. However, as of this episode going up, there will be a stream today as well on Saturday. I don't know what Brandon and I are gonna be streaming, but we're gonna record some Resident Evil 2 and then stream something. So the stream going up a couple hours later for today. And Jeff and I are almost finished with Elden Ring. We probably have 2, maybe 3 more streams left. We've already made it to the final boss. Like in the second to last recording session, we made it to stream. We made it to the final boss, but we didn't actually do the boss yet. We're trying to do some optional stuff. In the last stream, we took on the most difficult boss in the game, Melania. She's by far considered the hardest boss in the entire game. And we had to beat her twice, once on my game and once on Jeff's game. Took a little bit, but we did it. We were able to do it. We succeeded. And we got a couple more optional areas we're going to try to get through, and then we'll do the final boss, and then that'll be done. Oh, yeah. And Jeff will probably be taking a break from appearing on Twitch for a bit, because next month we're going to be doing all the Halloween spoopy stuff. But then in November, we should be starting a Demon Souls co-op playthrough. So he'll be coming back for another From Software co-op deal.
You're breaking out the PS3.
That one will probably be New Game Plus. It'll be because I haven't played it since I finished the initial playthrough. And I believe he said he has a save that's in the beginning of New Game Plus. So we're going to be doing a New Game Plus playthrough of Demon Souls. It'll be my second time playing through it, and it'll be my first time playing through it on New Game Plus. So we'll see how that goes. Since it's New Game Plus, my character will already have all the stats as such, so I will be going back to my usual deal of melee, and he'll be doing magic. and we will see how that goes.
I really don't like magic.
I liked it in Elden Ring. It was something I never wanted to do prior. The fuck is that?
I'll say this
Car
really
jumping
quick
at
while
something
you're
else.
looking at that. I was watching. Right now, I'm going through the Kingdom Hearts videos, and people probably know you get to pick your stats at the beginning of the game, and
Yeah,
Gopher says strength, and he says, "Yeah, get rid of the magic."
yeah. For some reason, I'm never really big on using magic. I think part of the reason it's a second health bar basically that you have to fucking replenish. It's a magic bar, but it's like and in From
Well,
Software,
it's just like Call of Duty where you run out of ammo.
yeah, but you
Hit
pick
the
up
wall.
more ammo typically, and you know,
I thought you picked up more magic. Well,
you,
sometimes, like I think,
sometimes.
like the best way is to drink an elixir or something.
Yeah. And then like in the From Software games, typically, uh, you have these flasks that heal your health and your magic, and you can like allocate them. So you get a limited amount of them. Say you have 10 flasks, you could choose to have like 7 of them for be for stumbling over words, be for health, and 3 for magic, or however you want to separate them. Which means the more you have for magic, the less you have for health. So I was always like, I want to have as much health healing as possible in these games. But it's I've been enjoying doing the magic run in my second playthrough of Elden Ring, but it was a co-op playthrough, so I don't know if I would like it as much if it was just me by myself, because it's very helpful having a melee user to sort of distract the enemies
Yeah,
while
yeah,
going after
tank
them.
character.
Yeah, because like otherwise, you have to get distance if you're doing a magic build and you're like shooting them from afar, and but then if they close in on you and start beating the shit out of you, it's a problem. Um, but I've been enjoying it. But for Demon Souls, because we're doing New Game Plus, we're gonna go back to me doing melee and him doing magic, and that should be starting in November. But we got like 2, maybe 3, but probably 2 more Elden Ring streams left to go for that. And speaking of Elden Ring streams, this last one that we did with the was it the Elden Ring stream where all the shit happened recently? Yeah, it was the Elden Ring stream. Where Bob
The
Ross became the bit
invasions.
boss.
Oh yeah,
That as well, yeah.
yeah, that was that one.
Bob Ross became the bit boss, and then fucking Robo became the bit boss. Then Drew became the bit boss. Ian became the bit boss again, and now Moose is back on his next reign of terror as the bit boss. And Moose gifted finally his 420th sub to the channel,
Yep.
and it was to Brandon.
Yep.
The best situation possible there. Um,
Yes.
yeah. So Brandon and I will continue our normal streams. We got a couple more Elden Ring streams left, and then next month we're gonna try to do all spoopy streams. So I'll probably be streaming, like I said earlier, the Resident Evil 2 B stories. We'll do some Dead by Daylight, and we'll see what else we want to be doing next month, which should be all spoopy, all October.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh.
and that should be it for my plugs.
Alright, so we play this game. It's been a while because we had guests.
Yeah.
We call it Bluffing Gopher. So I got 3 headlines. 2 are real. One's made up by me, and Gopher's got to figure out which one's made up by me. Otherwise, he's gotta die.
I'm gonna die again. Like I'm already like the fucking 4th replacement Gopher or something like that, some amount. So
Well, it's fine because we both know the first Undertaker wasn't the best. The first Ultimate
True.
Warrior maybe, but like
True.
maybe we'll finally get the Gopher that could like play Elden Ring with just magic alone, and he'll do the no armor run. All right, so first headline: Colorado State Fair competition names an unlikely winner. AI made artwork. The piece saw a storm of criticism this week as onlookers debated the use of artificial intelligence in the arts.
okay, I think I've heard about that one, so I think that one's real.
Ooh, let the dogs out. Texas man lets dogs book it and shelter escape.
Okay.
A city of Abilene man has been arrested after letting dogs escape from an animal shelter on Friday.
Yeah. It does seem like some shit Texas would be out here arresting people for.
watch a girl walk an emotional support Komodo dragon on a leash in Singapore.
All right, all right.
Video of a young girl helping her 3-year-old reptile. I can't say this name, it's Asian. Cool off and love park.
Okay. Well, I believe I heard the first story, unless it's like one of those things where you say something that's similar to a story that actually happened, like you did with the chess one. Um, I I feel like the third one, I mean, is probably real on the basis that there was an Asian name that you don't know how to pronounce. Um, Although maybe that's just me hoping it's real, because the idea of an emotional support kimono dragon, that seems like a good time.
I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So on the basis that I'm hoping,
I need one of those.
yeah, on the basis that I'm hoping that one's real, I'm gonna say the Texas dog situation is the fake one.
I made up the Komodo dragon story.
Oh, dang.
Damn.
Should have been real.
Well, I did the thing where this real story happened, and I just changed up a little bit. So what actually happened was a girl had a emotional support alligator in Philadelphia.
Oh, Philadelphia, not Florida, huh?
Yeah. Somehow, I don't even think. I think they could go there, but I don't think that's their natural habitat.
Well, sorry folks, but I am dying this week, so you'll get a new gopher next week.
Yep. We got a whole bunch of questions. They're pertaining to what we want to talk about. Okay. So let's preface this by saying there was a big news in the wrestling world, and some people barged into someone's locker room. There was a fight.
There was biting involved. Biting, chair throwing.
There was a fight and there was a bite. Yeah. And one of the people sending the question asked about that.
Let's hear these questions.
This is from Drain Brain. Doesn't say where he's from. Tell me where you're from, people. Gopher, is Kenny Omega the greatest hero of all time for saving Larry the dog?
I mean, I'm not big on dogs, especially on big dogs, other than Roman Reigns and Dakota Kai, obviously. Larry's a little too big for my liking. But I like Kenny, so, you know what? I'll say he's top 50. And that, considering it's all-time heroes, that's still pretty high up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that includes, Shaq.
From Shaq, yeah. And Shaq had a whole fucking kung fu situation where he was going out saving the world.
Yeah, shit.
So.
Well, we already know what happened here. I'm not gonna ask you these questions. Asking what you think's gonna happen to the title. Interesting one. All right, from Harold in Mongolia.
All right, hello, Harold.
Gopher, thanks for helping out with the Vietnam situation. I've escaped to Mongolia. Hopefully, I can make it back to the United States soon. My question is, do you think we'll ever see CM Punk in AEW again, or is this it? Is he never gonna wrestle again? What's your thoughts?
It's hard to say because they're still very deep into the investigation right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but if I had to guess, I would say he's still gonna be there. He might be suspended for a while. He could get fired, but I'm on the slight side of thinking he's gonna stay, but it could go either way, really. I don't know. I don't know if he's ever gonna be AEW World Champion again, considering this is the second time where he got the title and immediately had to vacate it.
Hey, it happened a lot to Antonio Inoki.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk just buys the promotion. He'll just there was a controversial finish and he becomes champion again.
So I don't know, but I think he will wrestle again. And in AEW, I still can't see him ever going back to WWE, especially with Triple H in charge now, because They are not pals, those two.
True.
Mm.
True.
I'm glad you were able to get out, Harold.
Yeah.
And you're welcome for whatever part I apparently had in that.
You're welcome, Harold. And our final question from Muffin Man. He just writes, um, "White man, can you tell me what the CM and CM Punk stands for?"
CM. So there are a couple possibilities here. People have said Cookie Monster. People have said Chicago Made. Personally, if I'm the one deciding here, I would say that CM stands for Crazy Mongolian.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's I mean, he's basically Genghis Khan, right?
Basically, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, just as much as John Wayne was.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Alright, so we talked about it before, but we might as well bring it up again since we haven't even been talking wrestling. Adam Page, and I'll preface this at the beginning. We won't agree, but unlike some people, we aren't children. Um, so Adam Page cut a promo. He brought up some backstage, or some
Yes. And
issue.
this was months ago, by the way. Just to
Yeah,
preface that for
long
viewers.
time ago. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree and disagree with some big personalities in wrestling. Dave Meltzer and Cornette. Meltzer made the point. This promo happened so long ago, and I think that's what we. I remember now. Yeah, that's what we were saying because I didn't understand why Punk did his promo. But let's talk about Adam Page first. So Adam Page, he did a promo where he said, "Yeah, workers' rights. Um, you don't always, follow that, or that's not his main thing. Like he'll say it to the people, but
Yeah, basically he was
pay."
implying that CM Punk claims to be like a hero for workers' rights, and in reality he actually isn't.
And the reason he did that, and it wasn't a scripted thing. It was when we got a shoot,
Yeah.
which isn't very professional. I'll say that, and I'll say that about someone else in this situation too. Not very professional. Adam Page. So the big controversy was, there's and it's happened to several of these Dark Order members where, they're just sort of hanging out in backstage segments and they quietly are let go. It's happened to Stu Grayson. I think another member too. I
Stu
know.
Grayson's was a money issue. He felt like he wasn't getting paid well enough.
Yeah, and there's other people. I mean, that group had so many people.
But the big issue here is Colt Cabana.
Yeah, Colt Cabana. So apparently he was being let go, just like Grayson was, and and I've heard this. Matt Jackson stepped in to save his job, so Tony gave him a job in Ring of Honor, which is basically a non-existent promotion right now. I mean, they do shows every 3 to 4 months or something.
Yeah. I assume they're still trying to work on like getting a TV deal or something.
Yeah, I've also heard like Tony is working on a new show for AEW, and I think that's what Ring of Honor is gonna be.
Mm.
Yeah, right now normally if Ring of Honor was still a actual promotion, we would be gearing up for Death. Well, we already had Death. I think we already had Death Before Dishonor. Normally when they do that, we might have like best in the world or something.
Mm.
Right now we'd be talking about Glory by Honor, but I imagine they're not even gonna have a show until maybe Final Battle.
Mm.
Do you have any thoughts on the old promo on maybe Colt Cabana?
So yeah, so the issue that Page had was that he believed that Colt Cabana was relegated to Ring of Honor, and like was being considered to be fired before being relegated there because of CM Punk being brought in, because obviously there's the big history between Punk and Cabana, who used to be friends, and there was like lawsuit issues and all that. So that's why Page, quote unquote, went into business for himself with that. And again, yeah, it's unprofessional. He shouldn't have said it, but also like it certainly isn't something that I think is as big of a deal as what fucking led to CM Punk doing his whole fucking tirade. Like that dude went off at the. We haven't mentioned this directly yet, but after AEW's last pay per view on Sunday, there was a post media scrum which involved CM Punk, and he just went off on several people: Hangman Adam Page, the Bucks. He said the EVPs in general.
I was going chronologically.
Colt Cabana.
The story.
Yeah, there's he went off on a whole bunch of people. It was a very uncomfortable situation. There was a fight afterwards that we still don't know the full details on. Several people have been suspended already. There's still being an investigation. And apparently, just a quick thing I just found out, apparently MJF is one of the people who witnessed it and is being interviewed about it. He's one of the mutual parties that is, yeah. So that's interesting. But, yeah, Paige shouldn't have made those comments on air, but it feels like something that's been blown way out of proportion, and it just yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, because this wasn't handled the way it should have been. I didn't say this before because I thought this might have been an angle, but I think I did say this too. If it was real, and obviously it is now. Two wrongs don't make a right. So CM Punk, he needed to get a comeback on him, one up on him. We talked about this. We talked about this a lot already. So I'll just bring it up. I'll just talk. Just a reminder: Punk came back after being injured, and John Moxley was interim champion. He came back, demanded a match with he said, hey, in his hometown, he said, hey, Adam Page, come on, let's have a match. And of course, Page doesn't come out, and he says, that cowboy shit, that's coward shit.
Yeah. See, that to me was even worse than what Page did, because that's like actively making a babyface look bad, because obviously it's not going to come out. Like, it's not scripted in the show for him to come out, so it makes him actually look like a coward who's not accepting the fight.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely unprofessional, like I said. Well, I didn't say it before because I thought this was a work. I think I said it, but I'll say it again. Two wrongs don't make a right. He shouldn't have done this. There's ways to handle things on television. No way. And I might as well make the big point I'm gonna make. This should have been taken care of when Hangman Page did his promo, and Tony Khan should have done something. And what did Tony Khan do after the Punk situation? He allowed this whole thing to build up into where they have to fight backstage. As far as I know, stuff like this didn't really happen under Jarrett, under Bill Watts, not even under Dixie Carter. Well, it happened under Vince McMahon because he was employing Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels at the same time.
Vince McMahon was probably backstage instigating the fights.
Yeah, so we talked about Dynamite, but that promo happened. We speculated if it was gonna lead to Punk and Hangman, and now we know that's not gonna happen. So the pay-per-view happened where Punk becomes world champion again.
Yeah, he beat Moxley in the
main there's a media scrum.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the media scrum? I watched what AEW posted.
I watched parts of it, and because I heard that Punk was going off. I wasn't sure what degree it was, but then I watched parts of it, and yeah, that dude was fucking pissed.
Yeah, he was going off on the reporters. He had a back and forth with Brian Alvarez. Yeah, took a shot at Dave Meltzer, Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
And there was one other person that was friends with Colt Cabana, but they said they're not friends anymore. It's been 10 years since they talked. I've heard that about Colt Cabana too. He's sort of a. Oh, I listened to people who don't like him, like who's the big fat Kenny Bolin. He had some like he. I remember for whatever reason he didn't like Colt. Um, yeah, he talked about how. So I guess what happened was didn't when Colt or no Punk was suing or in a lawsuit with WWE, Colt sided with them or something. What happened?
Colt had Punk on his podcast, and they talked about it, and that's what led to them being sued for whatever I forgot the term, when like their company's being shit on and they believe it's unjust or whatever the fuck.
Like,
What's the term for that?
I don't know if it's defamation.
I think it was a defamation lawsuit. Yeah, because it was specifically about the doctor and the whole Z-Pack thing, and yeah, it was all over that. And then there were like issues with like legal fees, like Punk apparently trying to pay Colt, but that I guess Colt, in Punk's wording of it all, like Colt told Punk not to, or something, and then like he got mad at him for not paying or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know, but I know that was a long time ago, and it feels like at this point, like they should be fucking past this, even if they're not friends anymore. Like they should still, like they shouldn't have any effect on a professional level.
I think honestly, and this might be where we disagree. I don't think this had any effect on anyone's personal level. I could be wrong, and Punk could have been like, you know, Punk could be lying, and he could have said, "I don't want to work with this guy." Get him out of here. And I've done the same thing where this guy that stole my Xbox, I was working with for them in Red Dog, and I told the boss, "All right, it's either me or him," and it was they wanted to keep him, so I left. No way I could work with someone like that. But anyway, I have no reason to disbelieve Punk. Colt Cabana was mainly a background character. He wasn't important to any storyline at all. I don't. I could see. There. So it's been brought up a lot. I don't think we ever caught it on here, but AEW was jokingly called for a long time, and it's still sometimes called this All Friends Wrestling. Where I mean, I started watching Dark the other week, and for whatever reason, we're still getting people like Pretty Peter Avalon, and the only reason he has a job is the Young Bucks. They're EVPs. They stand up for their friends. That's great for your friendship. I don't think it's great for business, but they stand up for their guys. That's why we still got Peter Avalon around. It's why it's why Colt Cabana signed the Ring of Honor instead of being gone like the other Dark Order members. Yeah, as far I'll trust Punk on this until I get other information, but yeah, that's why I'm on that. And let's see. Yeah, I don't think anyone else. I watched the whole media scrum. I don't think anyone else said anything. It's followed by Keith Lee and Swerve. They, uh, you know, I don't think we talk about the other guys. I think we only have so much time on the podcast as is.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to bring up before we talk about the fight?
So I personally, I don't really believe Punk's situation there. Just because I don't know, he doesn't seem like a very trustworthy guy. But again, I don't know. I don't know the full details. Obviously, nobody knows the full details except for those actually
I think
involved
that's
in
what
it.
everyone ought to be saying. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know as far as that goes. All I know is the Punk cult thing was years ago. I don't know. I don't think that should be having any effect on anything. And I also don't think because one of the issues that he brought up, he said that the Bucks were leaking rumors about the cult situation, like intentionally leaking rumors about that. That's something that he brought up, which, like, obviously I have no clue if that's true or not. Um, and that's one of the issues he took with that. But then, like,
Well, the only way we would find out is if I bought a new subscription to the Observer. I'm not doing that for $100.
um, I don't get why he had to shit on Paige again so much, because, like, he had the issue with that, but then, like, the issue with Paige was still just boiling back to that promo. But, like, that promo was fucking months ago. He already took a shot at Paige again, like, an even worse shot at Paige on fucking live TV. Like, I don't know why he still had to go with... And he went super fucking hard on it, too. Like Paige, I think, was the one who got it the worst in the fucking media scrum. He was the one that just fucking absolutely blasted. Yeah, I don't know. It was super unprofessional. It was not good. It wasn't a good thing.
There's one thing. There's one thing I want to bring up now that I think about it, about the media scrum before we move on. Tony Khan was sitting right next to Punk a lot of the time. I mean, I looked at his face; he's like uncomfortable a lot, but like there were several times he said, "Yeah, I agree with you, Punk." You know, I've already said this before, but Khan, he's not leading this promotion the way it needs to be. I think he needs to do the same thing that he does with his football teams, is have someone with a knowledge of how this I hate using the word industry because it's not like we're mass producing wrestlers or whatever, but they use the word business, how that business is ran. And as I jokingly said, why don't we get Jeff Jarrett in the Discord? But anyone, like who's there right now that could do it? Obviously not Punk. He. I'll say this: CM Punk doesn't have the temperament to be a promoter or a booker.
I feel like they could use someone like Arn Anderson.
Maybe Arn.
Yeah.
There's Arn Anderson. There's lots of other people.
Yeah, they got some people like that there who would work out for this. I do think that Tony definitely needs something there, because it feels like he's trying too hard to be friends with his roster. And so, like, he's trying not to confront anybody specifically, like, while they're there, and it just doesn't work from a business perspective.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah. Like, he was definitely very uncomfortable. He was upset with what Punk was saying. It was very clear from his face, but then he was just, like, quietly agreeing because, like, he doesn't want to upset Punk.
Yeah, he was quietly agreeing.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think, well, Tony Khan's not going to go. He owns the promotion, but he needs someone else to run this thing. Also, thankfully he didn't make a drastic decision, but he should make one soon. If he does it at all, I hopefully it brings in bring in someone and call him the general manager or something. The same way he does with his football teams. The guy, that's the role he ought to serve. I think, be more like I said Dixie Carter in the Discord, but the same role Ted Turner played in WCW.
So the fight happened, right? So it was during the scrums. Like, Tony was still out there. There were a couple people.
Yeah.
I don't remember who was talking at the moment out there. It might have been. It wasn't Jericho. Jericho was not there. He had already come, I believe.
Might have been Tony.
There was definitely like an actual wrestler there with Tony at the time. But I just know you could see a security guard quickly like running to the back in the middle of the press conference. And I think Jericho he wasn't the one like sitting at the table, but I think he was in the area, and he said something to somebody, like he whispered something to somebody about it. But obviously there are two sides to the story right now. There's the Punk side and then there's the Buck side on what happened.
There's some stuff that they agree on.
Yeah, some stuff. So Ace Steel threw a chair that apparently either like knocked Nick Jackson unconscious, or just like it hit him in the head. It did something, and he also bit
So
Kenny
from what?
Omega.
Hmm, yeah.
His
Yep.
wife was there apparently. Like his wife was in the
Well, his wife,
room.
from what I hear, his wife was there first. Then Ace Steel came in to
Yeah,
help
like
Punk.
yeah. Um, so like Punk's side of the story says that the Bucks and Kenny came in like kicking the fucking door down and being very
Well, no, no,
threatening.
no, no, no. So I'll say this: Punk, when he said those words, he was probably upset. They both Ace Steel and CM Punk have came out and said they didn't barge in or kick in the door. They did well, see, I guess they would have to have knocked or demanded to come in for Punk to not let them in. Punk claims he didn't want to talk to him. He was being treated medically at the time, or at the moment, so he didn't want anyone coming in to, you know, hash things out. And so, yeah, he didn't let him in. So it's not a break in, but they did come in, you know, um, un- I don't know what the word would be, unsolicited or
Mm. I mean, that's from Punk's
yeah,
side. Um,
and the elite are also saying that's what happened. You
mm,
know, obviously they're gonna have a word with this guy,
from what I
no
understand,
matter what.
it's considered common knowledge that Punk threw the first punch. That appears to be something that
Yeah, I believe that's
yeah,
what.
Punk threw the first punch, and then obviously Ace Steel threw a chair at Nick Jackson, which may have knocked him unconscious, and he bit Kenny Omega. There were others involved, because several people have been suspended already. The Bucks,
Right,
Kenny, Christopher Daniels, Michael Nakazawa,
yeah,
Brandon Cutler. Maybe was he one of the ones suspended?
I can't remember,
I don't
but I
remember
think
if
he
he was
was.
suspended or not. Seems like basically everybody from the elite side. I don't know what Christopher Daniels did exactly. People are speculating that Daniels was just like trying to intervene to like stop it, and just because he was
I could
involved
see
in
that.
general, he was suspended. But nothing has happened yet in regards to Ace and CM Punk. While they're currently investigating the situation, they're trying to see. Although Punk has obviously been stripped of the world title, as well as the Bucks
Yeah,
and
he's been
Kenny were
stripped.
stripped of the trios titles. We have new trios champions already as of Dynamite, which are Death Triangle, Penta, Ray Phoenix, and Pac. And there's a tournament happening now, which seems like it's going to end with Moxley and Bryan, possibly, to decide the new world champion. But yeah, so that's all that's happened. There's currently they're current so somebody I can't remember her name, but there's like the like main legal representative of AEW, whatever her role is
Yeah,
exactly. She apparently saw the whole thing, and obviously like she's a very neutral party. And there were other neutral parties who saw the thing. Apparently MJF, as I mentioned earlier, is one, and so they're doing an interview. They're bringing in a third party to do the interview or to do the investigation, and they're interviewing all the people involved, all the people who saw it, and at some point we're gonna figure out, what they're doing about this.
so let's see the things you missed. Apparently, when the fight started, Kenny Omega's claiming. I don't see any reason to dispute it until we get the facts. He's claiming he grabbed Larry the dog and saved him from the fight before coming back and helping Matt and Nick.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Let's see. I don't. Yeah, so Ace Steel. I already said this, but yeah, Ace Steel wasn't in the room, but his wife was, and he came in to help Punk. See, I believe Matt got knocked out, and
Was it Matt or was it? I thought it was
yeah,
Nick.
oh, it might have been Nick. One of them got knocked out. Ace Steel threw a chair at another one, and you've already said this. Ace Steel was biting and pulling the hair of Kenny Omega. Uh, so I'll say this: I think the elite need to be stripped of the EVP titles. Like no active wrestler ought to be at EVP. Um, you know, there was
Also,
a
really quickly, one thing I want to point out.
there's smarter ways to handle that situation.
One thing I want to point out was that Hangman was not involved in this. He had already left the show because his match was earlier in the night. He wasn't supposed to be on the scrum, so he already left the show. He was not involved in this scenario.
Yep. Well, because they gotta save CM Punk versus Adam Page rematch for the pay per view. Yeah, I think the three, whoever was an EVP that was involved in this ought to be stripped of that role. Active wrestlers shouldn't be EVPs anyway. Punk, he's been really unprofessional. Not that none of these people can't return in the future, but Punk can't be the world champion. I think it's too much. And I don't think we would have had this problem if someone else was in control other than Tony Khan.
Another thing to note
that's my biggest take out of all of this.
Another thing to note is that Punk also got injured again during his match with Moxley.
Yeah.
So like even if this hadn't happened, he would still probably have had to forfeit the title. Because from what I heard, it was a pretty serious injury.
What's gonna happen is he's gonna come back. He's gonna cut a promo on Peter Avalon. Him and Moxley will be champion again, so him and Moxley will have a match, and Moxley will beat him on Dynamite, and then they'll do another pay-per-view match. Imagine if this is what this all led to.
What I think should happen, right? What I think should happen is they should fire CM Punk, but then they should hire AJ Lee and just have her come out dressed as CM Punk and have nobody acknowledge that it's AJ Lee.
Like hired a new Gopher?
Yeah.
From the Gopher that died?
Yes, and then I think that AJ Punk should be the new world champion.
Might as well. Is there any other comments? It's already like an hour into the show. We did watch some wrestling. I wasn't really into watching the AEW pay-per-view. There was nothing I was excited to see.
I watched Clash of the Castle as well, which had Chili and Sori. Our friends Chili and Sori were both there.
Oh damn! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, both of them went.
Yeah, WWE did 60,000 people in the United Kingdom in the first stadium show they did in 30 years.
It was a good show.
I think the last one was SummerSlam with Brett and Bulldog.
Yeah. Thought that was a good show.
And normally we would go through them, but
we're definitely running on low on time here. But my just quick thoughts. I thought the WWE show was really good. I thought the AEW show from a wrestling standpoint was really good, but there was some questionable booking decisions that were made. But I still thought it was a good show overall. And I didn't watch the NXT show.
I watched the NWA Power, and for whatever reason, Aaron the Idol Stevens has a southern drawl now. He's like a southern lawyer or something. And Rodney Mack came out as the question mark, which was really strange because the last guy who played the question mark died. So I guess they're trying to get heat.
Rodney Mack is marked for death. That's what that means.
Well, it's interesting, but I'm not a fan of like Aaron Stevens trying to play different characters all the time. Come on.
That role is reserved for Charlie Haas.
Yeah, come on, Aaron.
Bring back the Glamour Haas.
Yeah, that. Hell yeah, man. I'll be all for that.
Yeah, we will probably talk more about the AEW situation next week because there's probably going to be more out there about it. Like, there's probably going to be more known.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is like there's gonna be no news, and they're gonna like bring CM Punk to be the announcer, and Kenny Omega's gonna come out. Actually, we would talk about that anyway, but they're gonna announce a match or something.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens there, and possibly talk about that next week.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll see. what news comes out. I think it's been over an hour, so I want to play one more game before we take off. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
The TCM Ultimate Movie Trivia Challenge. All right. So what should Gopher do for every question he gets wrong? How about um, he tweets about one of his favorite matches from the people involved in the brawl. He could pick. If he gets like he could talk about Michael Nakazawa, Christopher Daniels, Punk, Kenny, Matt, Nick.
I'm sorry, what am I doing now?
For every question you get wrong, you gotta say something about one of the people in the brawl.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Like what's your favorite Michael Nakazawa match? But you get to pick whoever.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, so there's 8 categories. We set up what he has to do for each one he gets wrong. There's 8 categories. So the first one is behind the scenes.
Alright. This one I sometimes get, sometimes don't, usually don't.
I'm looking at the questions here. I think this is the most interesting one. Whose cinematic creations included an oversized ape, a 6-tentacled octopus, and an army of skeletons?
Who's what now?
Whose cinematic creations, puppets maybe, included an oversized ape, a 6-tentacled octopus, and an army of skeletons?
So this is like a cinematographer or something?
Actually, now that I look at the movies, he probably does the stop motion.
Oh yeah, so this is not anything at all that I would know. So I'm gonna go with Clark Tibbledon.
Special effects pioneer Ray Harryhausen. What a name!
That's a name right there.
for Mighty Joe Young, It Came Beneath the Sea, and Jason and the Argonauts. I've seen Jason and the Argonauts.
I've seen the first one, Mighty Joe Young. I haven't even heard of the other two.
Dang. I gotta see Mighty Joe Young with all the wrestlers in it. Alright, so now he's gotta say something about Michael Nakazawa or whoever.
Daniels. Go with Christopher Daniels.
Alright, second category is supporting players.
Okay. Harrison Ford, by the way.
I'm looking over the questions. What actress's on-screen character dies in a Western shootout with Joan Crawford?
In a what now?
A Western shootout?
So it's a Western movie with Joan Crawford?
Yeah.
Joan Crawford. And I'm thinking of the actress and not the movie.
Yeah, the actress. Former Oscar winner.
Former Oscar winner around in the Joan Crawford days.
Western film.
Do you think by like her name, do you think she's someone I've even heard of?
Yeah, sure. I know you're watching all these old Western films.
Oh God, can I get a hint, or was the Oscar thing was probably the hint?
Well, it's asking for the actors, so the movie's Johnny Guitar.
Johnny Guitar. I've heard of that movie. Don't really know anybody who was in it though. Well, aside from Joan Crawford, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Harrison Ford. Final answer. Lock it in.
Mercedes McCambridge.
Never heard of her.
Dang.
So I chose
Christopher
Daniels.
Say something about Larry the dog.
I chose Daniels for the first one. For this one, I'm gonna choose Matt Jackson.
Matt Jackson. The third category, the great films.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, Yeah, I like this. What film's plot hinges on the possession of two letters of transit, signed by Charles D. Gully? Gully. It's spelled Gaulle. How do you say that?
Repeat that entire thing?
Alright, so there's a film. The plot hinges on the possession of two letters of transit, signed by Charles D. Gully. Well, I figured you'd know the answer right away.
Why would I know the answer right away?
Well, because it's a very famous film.
That is the point of these.
All right.
Very
I'll give,
famous
I'll
film.
give this hint.
Okay. Give a hint. Okay.
So this all takes place in Morocco.
Casablanca.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Here you are pretending you don't know films.
I sure never seen it, but you know it is a very well-known film. So.
Well, I believe the streak will continue. The next category is called classics.
That's the one right there.
I really like this film. In what 1974 rock opera does William Finley follow in Lon Chaney Sr.'s footsteps?
Phantom of the Paradise?
You got it.
Yeah, that's my category right there.
Next category, leading ladies.
Harrison Ford.
I don't. Did I ask this yet?
Maybe.
Well, I'll just ask it. What actress turned down the roles in Cool Hand Luke? Mildred
You did ask
Pierce?
this.
Yeah, I did. Okay, yeah, I thought I asked this.
Yeah.
Well, there's 4 questions. There's so many questions on this card, so I could use the same one. Let's see. Maybe this one. In what 1968 film did Katharine Hepburn play one of her royal ancestors?
One of her royal ancestors in a 1968 film.
Mm-hmm.
She has royal ancestors?
Yeah, she played one of them in this film.
Oh, man. So a 60s film that involves royalty with Katharine Hepburn. The Lion in Winter?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that was like fucking all the England and shit. Henry. That's fitting for today, considering you know.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll have one of those type of characters step in and become queen. Like, I'm the bastard child of so and so. Anything so that Prince Charles ain't the next fucking leader. Those bastards. Just give it to Charles.
Give it to Meghan
next
Markle.
Category. Yeah, her. Next category, unforgettable lines.
Okay, this one's usually pretty good.
Let's see. I don't think I asked this. So maybe I did. Who knows? What film teaches us keep your friends close, but your enemies closer?
Fuck, which one was it? The second Godfather?
Hey, you got it.
Yeah. I never saw either of them, but I remembered it was a Godfather quote. I just had to get the right one. And I figured it wasn't the third one because everyone hated that one.
Yeah, shit. I think I grabbed an extra behind the scenes card too.
Oh. Well, we still have leading men anymore?
Yeah, I need a leading men card.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna look for a leading men card while I ask this question.
Okay.
For directors. Let's see. Okay. Who earned his chance to direct after editing such great films as Citizen Kane and The Magnificent Andersons?
Who? Repeat that?
So this guy, he got to direct. He finally got to direct films after he was the editor for Citizen Kane and The Magnificent Andersons. Who was that?
Oh god. Can I get a hint with this one?
Let's see. What? I know this name. We're gonna look at IMDb here. Let's see, it's loading. Keep them books loading right. I'm gonna see what he's most known for and use that as a hint. Oh yeah, fuck. He directed West Side Story.
Robert Wise.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. Was that only 2 wrong?
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
So there's one more though.
Yeah,
There's
one more. I have Best Actor. That is one more.
Leading Men. Here we go.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Oh, all these are pretty famous people. All right. For what comedic role did Dustin Hoffman prepare by getting Meryl Streep to coach him as he read Blanche Du Bois' lines from the play A Streetcar Named Desire?
I'm trying to think of comedies he was in. Tootsie?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Look at that. That's another good week for me. Only 2 wrong. And I just have to talk about people instead of losing fingers, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, shoot.
Alright, so I had Matt Jackson and Christopher Daniels. So I have to answer 2 questions you ask about him, or how does this work?
Say 2 things about him.
Alright, so I gotta say 2 things? Alright. We went to some Ring of Honor shows back in 2016, and at one of them, the Addicted were at both, the Addiction. At one of them, Christopher Daniels pointed me out because I was wearing an Addiction shirt. And that was cool.
That's true.
And then I actually, at some point after that, I had tweeted being like, hey, I remember when you pointed me out, that was cool. And he sent me a DM after that, where he called me Doctor.
You did?
With an A.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun. I like the guy, Christopher Daniels. I like that. As for Matt Jackson, this seems to be a controversial opinion, apparently, but I prefer him over Nick. I'm more of a Matt Jackson fan. But I do like both. So those are my statements on those 2. Third statement, that was, I didn't even need one, but I'm going to do one anyway. Larry the dog, I don't like big dogs, unless you're Roman Reigns or Dakota Kai. But I do like AJ Lee, so, and then he's also her dog.
True. So there's a lot to look forward to in October.
Yeah. Apparently we're gonna have a guest. I'd like to have I'd like to have a guest on as well. I would like to have somebody on to talk about horror stuff with. Have like somebody who's really into horror things. Do an episode on that.
Is it dead? Are we bringing back a podcast of the day?
Probably not that. But let's see. What's on Saturday? So Saturday 29th, the 2 days before Halloween. I think maybe if we can try to get somebody for that one, have a little Halloween themed Top of the World episode. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we need to do that. That'll fit perfectly for all the horror stuff going up on Gopher's channel this October. Yeah. For me, I got the Chess Challenger video up on YouTube. I'm Josh Hadley, but to find it easier, just go to my website www.joshuajhadley.com. I will upload more content now that I finally have a video editor that I
editing software
could use and works, and and so far, that's all I have. What about you, Gopher? He's gonna be on Twitch tomorrow, but you can watch the VOD with
today. As of this episode going up, it'll be today that I'm going on Twitch. Saturday.
Oh, I'm talking to the people who listen to this tomorrow.
Yeah, for them listening tomorrow, it'll be today.
I mean yesterday. God damn.
yeah.
I'm all confused now.
Yeah, there is a VOD of the Fall Guys stream for those of you listening to this, and I'll also be streaming something today. Don't know what, but Brandon will be there, and we'll be doing some of that action.
Yeah, and I think that's everything.
Yep.
Fuck all these people fighting each other instead of entertaining us. They should put the backstage brawl on pay-per-view.
Yeah. And as Brandon and I always say, fuck Amber Heard. She's irrelevant to this, but fuck Amber Heard.
with or without a condom.
With a knife.
All right. Everyone have a good rest of your day. Tune in. Listen to us next week.
Yes. Goodbye.